everybody, we're partway through turn 3 at this point. Villains have taken their movement, and so I'll quickly go over that. The villains that were here in these little transplanted palm trees have given up that position because nobody was coming up the dock on Whiskey 9. And they're going to either try to rescue or maybe shoot one of the good guys or something. They're going to do something about what's going on at the end of this pier. Again, Mr. Wells has been physically subdued and handcuffed now by Lieutenant Marty Castillo, who doesn't play. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. Meanwhile, we did have Switek, who is no longer wounded for game purposes. He carries a light wound, but that has no game effect. Nadia has passed out there on the dock, and everybody else has sort of fallen back to hedgehog in place. They're getting ready to make a villain's last stand here. So at the moment, no one's going for this boat, no one's going for the plane to escape. But if the heroes are not careful, that boat is still there. If they all swing around to the south, or they all swing around to the east or some other direction, they could still get on that boat and make a run for it. So all villain movement is now complete. We're now going to start with hero pedestrian movement, which is going to be Castillo getting back in the boat. Never get out of the boat, man. And he is carrying a casualty, technically. In this case, it's a POW. He carries in the arrested Wells. That is -1 off of his movement, but he's already in the same hex, so it doesn't really matter. All right, he's in the boat. Now we do friendly vehicle movement, i.e. boats. So whichever boat wants to move first.
Can I go backwards?
Not that I know of. No, I don't have rules for it. Because facing's a thing. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I probably messed something up there, so yeah, we can put you in that hex right there. Yeah, just turn 1 hex sooner, and you wind up there.
Okay.
Next
Perfect.
to the dock. All right, cool.
Perfect.
And then, yeah, pedestrian movement takes place beforehand, so you're there, but still on the boat. You jump off the boat next. Well, no, you started off in the boat. You can unload now. What am I saying? All right, so you guys unload. You just can't move anymore. So you guys are now on the pier. Is anyone staying in the boat?
Nah,
Okay.
not at this point.
Everyone's off the boat. Cool. Over to you for your movement, Jen.
Our boat's pretty much going right where her boat was, between the yellow speedboat and the seaplane. Just to sort of act as that way it can turn however it needs to.
That concludes hero movement. I don't think there's so much opportunity fire. She has line of sight, but she's passed out from blood loss. She has been stabilized, though. She's not going to die. She's not going to. No more bleed out checks are required for her. That was my first aid check at the end of last turn. Nobody here has line of sight. Nobody here has line of sight because they stepped back from the edge of the stilled house. So there's no fire here. There's not going to be a whole lot going on in this turn, guys. They're now out of range. Nothing going on there. All right, and that's pretty much going to be it, unless anyone wants to shoot up the plane. Jen, you want to shoot up the plane?
Yeah. Why not? Let's have the girls take a... Let's have the girls take a shot at the plane.
Light up this plane, man. This plane is out of gas. All right, so 2d6s for both characters. I'll roll 2d6. So roll Trudy first.
Trudy. Roll the 2.
You hit it because I only rolled a 1. All right, Cabrezi.
Gina, come on, you got to redeem yourself. 6.
All right, so that's 2 hits. Roll 2d6, add 2 to both results. Looking for a 5 up.
Let's see. 6 plus 2 is 8.
Boom.
2 plus 2 is 4.
All right, so we'll say that was the first one, and we rolled Trudy first. Trudy was the one who actually shot up the plane, and the plane is now out of gas.
What? Nice.
If I can ever get it back on camera. There we go. So, yeah, on the vehicle damage table, it's normally a 7 up, cripples a vehicle. That was for partially armored vehicles that we saw in 13 days. That's there's some sort of Kevlar on the doors. These are straight out market vehicles. So we're giving a +2 to all vehicle damage checks, which is if you roll a 6, becomes an 8. That's enough to cripple the plane. So that plane is toast. No one's getting away on the plane. All right, guys, and okay, to wrap things up for turn 3, because there isn't a whole lot going on, like I said, We do have one of the villains there in Hotel 2. He's going to try and do a medic check on my boy, Mr. Cortez. 2, he fails. So now Mr. Cortez has to see if he bleeds out. He does not bleed out. Okay, so that's wrapping things up for turn 3. Yeah, turn 3 was a bit of a repositioning, but I think turn 4, the action's going to kick back up again, so we'll see what happens. Okay, guys, partway through turn 4, criminal pedestrians have now completed their movement. These guys are moving to the south to cover this little D-Day landing that Crockett and Tubbs just led onto the pier. But for right now, these other villains have moved 1 hex, and 1 hex only, so they get the cover bonus. Zoom in. However, they did move in line of sight. As soon as they enter this edge of the stilt house, they now re-enter the hero's line of sight. The reason I wanted to make that point is, as we've seen in previous turns, opportunity fire is a thing. Of course, Wells is arrested. Joplin and Cabrisi can now help. Everybody's in range, and it's only fair. Yeah, opportunity fire goes both ways. If the villains move into the hero's line of sight during the villain's movement phase, the heroes get a chance to shoot while they're moving. However, I only moved 1 hex, so I do get the cover bonus. So, Jen, which character are you shooting first, and who are you shooting at?
Well, see, Castillo noticed them trying to play hide and sneak, and Castillo don't play. So Castillo
Okay.
is going to take out Cortez.
Are we still on the Castillo don't play? Let me fact. Yeah, in fact, I just checked it on my phone. He does not play. Let's find out.
He does not play?
All right,
Okay.
so are you putting both D10s into Cortez, or just 1? Remember, my defense dice
No.
is doubled, so you may want to focus a little bit. It's up to you.
Oh, yeah. We'll go ahead. We'll take out the main bad guy, the goal.
For our video audience, technically Cortez is 2d6 now, not 2d8, because he has been severely wounded in a previous turn. All right, so 2d10 versus my d8, because he's a hero, or a named villain, I should say. However, I get 2 because I have the cover bonus. So you get 2d10, I get 2d8. We'll see who gets the higher roll.
All right. Castillo's going to give him that glare, don't do it, is what he says, and then Castillo fires. A 10 and a 7.
Okay, I literally can't beat that. But just for fun, I'll try. Double 3s, hell no. You hit him twice. Roll 2 d6s on the wound table. It's both of your hits beat both of his hits. You hit him twice.
Ooh, not so good on the wound table. 1 and a 3.
Okay, so a 1 and a 3. 1 is no effect because it's, whatever. You clipped his shoulder or something. The 3 is another severe wound, which basically knocks him down to another level. He's now considered incapacitated. Pending a medical check, unless one of those ladies or his boy in the white t-shirt can roll a 6 on the medical check, Cortez is out of action. All right, so now Cabrisi and Joplin are also going to take opportunity fire. Who are they shooting at?
Okay. Gina is going to shoot at the lady in front. She's got to redeem herself.
Okay, you 1d6 versus my 2d6. Because you're taking opportunity fire against people in fortified positions. It's not going to be the best.
Come on, Gina,
God.
this is your shot.
You literally can't hit her.
Did you really roll 2 6s?
You literally can't hit her. So I rolled 2 6s.
Oh.
All right.
And I was so excited because she rolled a 6 as well. Oh, well. Trudy
Okay, go ahead.
rolls a 5.
It's technically possible to survive. I have to get 2 chances to roll a 5 on my 2d6s. Yep, Trudy missed as well.
Wow.
When the villains actually take time to take cover, they get a little more difficult to hit. I know, surprising. All right, so that's going to wrap up opportunity fire because the heroes down here in the south never got line of sight yet until they move. So, yeah, we'll come back later on in turn 4 and see how things are progressing. Okay, guys, a little bit further on in turn 4, we have Lieutenant Castillo lead his boat up here to this northern pier. They did not jump onto the pier because to do so would invite a god-awful amount of opportunity fire. Well, not from him, he's incapacitated, but from these 3, at least for the moment, Castillo and Cabrisi and Joplin are not jumping up on that pier, at least at the moment. They have weakened that hex a great deal by knocking down Cortez. Cortez is now incapacitated by opportunity fire. Meanwhile, you have Crockett and Zito sort of leading a D-Day charge, Tom Hanks style, up the pier there. But at the moment, again, they're in Charlie 7, and all these enemies are at least 1 hex back from the edge of the still town. By that angle, as you can see, so there's no line of sight. There will be no fire between these 2 hexes. at least at the moment. Conversely, Tubbs and Switek, the miraculously healed Switek, have pivoted around in the go fast, and by using the turn radiuses of the not quite fastest speed bracket, they were able to actually maneuver into this hex that did invite quite a bit of opportunity fire because, again, the line of sight from center dot to center dot does scrape past, but not through, hex G6. Therefore, hex G5 is considered on the edge of the still hex. Long story short, take your 20th shot. There is line of sight between these two hexes. So all of these guys open fire, however, with some good defense dice. Believe it or not, everybody missed. Also, my poor villains can't shoot very well right now. So, yeah, the opportunity fire has been taken, and none of these guys were hit. Now it's up to Tubbs and Switek to actually shoot first. We're finally in the actual operator fire phase. There's been a lot of opportunity fire this turn, because there's a lot of movement. But now we're in the actual true fire phase, which is going to be kind of brief because a lot of people have already fired their weapons. Two people that haven't are Tubbs, who's finally in range, and Switek. So who do you want to shoot first?
Okay, so how does Tubbs' sawed-off shotgun work?
He gets a D10. He gets a D10.
Okay.
He only gets that bonus if he's in the same hex or adjacent, which he is not. So at this moment, he's just going to get the D10. He gets one.
I
shot.
thought if he's on the bow, he's adjacent.
Okay, so we can do that. Cool, now he's adjacent. Now he gets a D10 plus 1. So whoever you want to shoot at first.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take out the girl or whatever that is, the 2d6.
She's got the biggest weapon.
Tubbs.
So
Yep.
totally makes sense. All right, cool. So Tubbs, D10 plus 1 versus my D6 plus 1.
I got a 6 plus 1 is a 7.
Okay, now for her defense dice. A 6 could have saved her because a 6 would have been a 7 because she is concealed. That would have been a 7 and a tie is a miss. However, she did not roll that. So Tubbs has blown her off the pier. Oh no. Switek, you have 2d8. Oh wait.
Okay.
Yeah, 2d8. Because you were
2d8. Okay.
And we got, so are you putting them both in the same character or?
I'm gonna split fire.
Okay. So 1d8 versus my d6 plus 1.
Okay. First is 7.
Versus a modified 2 because my dice are a stone cold atrocity. He's out of here. Next, Switek's getting revenge, man. Switek's becoming a stone. He's kind of a dorp in the show. He's a badass in this episode.
So I only got a 1 on the second roll.
Okay, I don't think, yeah, that becomes a 5. So
Yeah.
he actually did this once. Still, there's only one villain left in that hex. Good deal. All right, so I think everyone has now moved. Everybody has now fired, except these guys who have no targets. So they're not going to do anything. What they are going to do, however, is, again, they're going to try to heal my man Cortez a little bit before he bleeds out. He still fails on the medic check, and he does not bleed out further. So, okay, nothing really else is going on in that northern hex. That's going to wrap up turn 4, everybody. We'll be back with turn 5 and coming up on the end of this game here. Okay, folks, here we are midway through turn 5. And things are starting to heat up for sure. So first of all, the Scarab pulled up next to all these other boats. Switek and Tubbs are sort of hopping across the boat decks to get back into the battle. They can't drive and do too much pedestrian movement in the same turn, but they can dismount. So that's pretty much what they've done. They're now on their way across these boat decks to the pier and then onto the actual still house. Down here we have Crockett and Zito, who have come up the pier. 1, 2, 3. They move maximum movement. They're dead sprinting. They're giving no shits about cover. So if any fire comes back at them, they will get no bonuses, even though they are in a building hex. They're running so fast, they're literally like charging through open doors and windows. So yeah, there'll be no cover bonus there. But that's okay because the villains have already declared, what villains are left, that they are taking their opportunity fire against Castillo, Joplin, and Calabrese as they move one hex from their boat, the red and white one, onto the pier. So by moving only one hex for our video audience, they get the covered bonus. They get their defense dice doubled. So that's good news. The bad news is they're about to take a hell of a lot of pistol fire.
They're going to need it.
These guys saw that, and it's just like open fire. All right, so I'm going to start off by shooting at Miss Calabrese, because why not? Actually, hell no, I'm shooting at Castillo. He's got the better weapon. Why am I even... Also, it's not cool to shoot at women. All right, here I go. Castillo, you're going down, dude. I don't care if you play or not. Neither do we. 2d4 against your, unfortunately for me, doubled attack dice. So 2d8 versus my 2d4. Roll 2d4 and
Check.
tell me what the best roll is.
2d8, I rolled a 6.
Okay,
6 and a 3.
literally can't beat that, but there we go. Okay, next, roll that again for this shooter.
8 and a 7.
I can't beat that. Roll that again for this shooter.
5 and 2.
I can totally beat that. Actually, no, I can't. Not with a d4. Damn. Roll it one more time.
4 and 6.
I can't beat that. Yeah, you missed all that fire. Again, what made it more plausible? Two things, guys, because it seems like kind of a crazy thing to do. Number one, Cortez was incapacitated. Cortez starts with 2d8s. If they had done that in front of Cortez, somebody would have been going home in a plastic bag, for sure. And the other thing that really helped them out with that is they were smart about their movement. They did not charge 3 hexes, because then they wouldn't get to double their defense dice. But because they went slow and kind of belly crawled onto that pier, they got to double all their defense dice. So, yeah, Castillo, Joplin, and Cabrese. Yeah, I knew the odds were in their favor, but if Jen had rolled like a 1 or a 2, or a 3 and a 2 and a 3, or a double ones or something on those d8s, yeah, somebody still could have gotten hit, for sure.
Or if I'd only had the 1 dice. There were a lot of times where I rolled low, but I was lucky and had that second dice.
Oh, no. See, I would almost reverse that. The fact that you have ×2 defense dice has nothing to do with luck. That was tactics on your part. Don't sell yourself short. You were careful, and when you're moving into enemy fire, you stay on your belly. That was the rules take that into account, and your tactics took that into account. And when you charge headlong, that's when you need luck. Like if Zito and Crockett were taking that fire, that would have been bad news. Because, you know, they had to run full tilt. No cover. They're literally just tearing ass across the dock there. They're going to get hit. But anyway, that's not who they were shooting at. They declared that they were shooting at your guys coming up the pier. Now we go to Operator Gunfire phase. This might be the end of the game. So there is a line of sight here, believe it or not, between Zito and Crockett's hex. 1, 2, 3. Again, that's not considered a building hex, not a building hex, not a building hex, because of the center dot in the hex. Yeah, you can see these guys. Obviously, these guys can see these guys. All right, guys, do your worst. Let's see if we can wrap this up on turn 5.
Jen, you want to go first? You earned it.
Oh, I was going to let Sonny and Zito go, but Castillo will go.
Yeah.
There are plenty of enemies in that hex. There's still 4 active shooters in that hex.
All right. Castillo will go first.
All right,
These guys get...
Which person is he shooting at?
He's going to shoot at a guy. Let's take guy in green, I guess.
All right, there are 2 shooters in there with 2d4. So we're targeting this guy here in green first. I'll zoom in a little bit so it's more clear for our video audience and to show off these awesome little gaming pieces. A little bit too much. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so Castillo, are you putting both shots in the same guy, or are you splitting it up?
No, he's going to put both in one. Guaranteed.
Right, so 2d10 versus I do have covered. I get 2d6s. Same bonus.
So, an 8 and a 2.
Okay, so you roll an 8 and a 2. I can't beat that no matter what I roll, even with double 6s.
Oh!
So he is smoked. Castillo. Wait, he don't play. I forgot about that. All right, now we go to Calabrese. Who's she shooting at?
This is her last chance to redeem herself. She's going to shoot at the same chick in green that she tried to get from the boat.
That bright green tank top should be easy to hit. So you're 1d6 versus my 2d6. This is what happens when they only give her like pistols. I mean, I'm going
I know.
I even bumped her up to automatic. She should only have a revolver.
A revolver, yeah.
I'm doing my best here, Gina.
She rolled a 6.
Nope, not with a 6.
Oh.
A tie is a miss. Just not your day. Gina. No worries. Joplin, you already blew up the plane. Help us out, Joplin.
And she got a snipe on the other guy, too. She's kicking butt. All right. She rolls a 5.
She misses as well.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Nothing against these characters. They just give them crappy weapons. Or very light weapons. Okay, so there's 3 shooters left. It is up to Zito and...
All right, Zito's going to hit first.
They count it. That's it. They did it on purpose to distract them, so Sonny and Zito could kill them.
Well, in that dress Trudy's wearing, I tell you what, I would surely be distracted. That's for sure. I'm not gonna say I spent like an hour on that dress last night, but I'm not gonna say I didn't spend an hour on that dress. Okay, so all right, so Zito's gonna shoot 2d8. He's shooting at Cortez. You don't have to worry about. He's already incapacitated. We've got 3 shooters left. Whoever you want to shoot at.
I'm going to go ahead and shoot at the green shirt guy, the 2d4.
Right, he's got that little tech 9.
Put both shots into him.
A little weed chopper. All right, so I get 2d6 versus your 2d8s.
A 7 and a 6.
My best was a 4. He is toast.
Woohoo!
Okay, and Crockett with a d8.
All right. A 4.
Did he add 1 to that result?
No, I did not add 1. I didn't know if there was a still penalty on that because of the distance, but
No,
so it's a 1+1.
So again, pistols are a d4 if you're a militia. It's a d6 if you're a soldier, a d8 if you're an operator. He is a d8 and the star of the show, so he gets a +1 on top of that.
So then it'd be a 5.
Cool. So 5 versus 2d8s. Sorry, 2d6s. That is another one smoked.
Yeah!
Boom! I'll shoot at the one that tried to shoot at Trudy. There you go. That's what you get for shooting at Trudy. Okay, the enemy force is now down to literally 1 woman with an empty pistol. She's going to try and stabilize Mr. Cortez before he dies again. Before he gets even... she still can't. Okay, so Cortez could bleed out here if he fails his bleed out check. He does not. So Cortez is going to be arrested because although he keeps failing his first aid checks, he is making his bleed out checks. You guys are in the same hex as a pre-stabilized, incapacitated character. Somebody slaps the handcuffs on Miss Nadia. Like I said, there's literally 1 character left with a D4. She literally throws the pistol out and surrenders. Because it would be silly to have a turn 5 just to literally murder this one poor girl. So,
Okay, can Gina at least go in and arrest her then? I mean, give the girl something.
All right, so Gina walks in to pistol whip her, and she misses. No, in all seriousness. All right, so Calabrese slaps the cuffs on her. We've now got all three villains have technically survived. So we do. I mean, despite
our best efforts,
despite Sonny Crockett being on the table, this guy's killed more people than smallpox. Despite Sonny Crockett being on the table, we've actually arrested all 3 living. I mean, some of them are going to spend some time in ICU for a while, but all 3 main villains are actually like lawfully arrested. Sweet. We did take 1 casualty, although it's not as bad as we thought. He'll have his arm in a cinematic sling at the end of the episode party that they have down at the club somewhere. So cool. All right, guys, that wraps up our game. What do we think?
Awesome. Loved
blast. I definitely think we need to have an episode 2.
Yes.
But there must be a Ferrari in the episode.
Right?
I could be persuaded to such a course of action. The vehicles and the maps aren't that tough. The only tough part was the characters, as far as making the pieces for them, and they're now made. So that's going to be that would be a lot easier to do a second episode than the first episode. I would definitely be down for that.
Nice.
In a week coming forward.
And if it would make you happy, you could make an Izzy character, and he could die.
Oh.
For some reason, there's a Claymore in Miami Vice. There was never one in the show. A Claymore, a Stinger missile, a 20 kiloton tactical nuke. Something hits Izzy and Noogie, and they're just toast.
Man, the hatred.
I hate those characters.
For the Noog Man.
Like I said, Izzy, I can tolerate. He has some redeeming qualities, but the Noog Man, they just went to the most annoying human being they could find. My compliments to the actor.
Makes it so special.
I literally skip episodes with him in it. I just literally.
Oh, come on.
See, there's that picture. That is every preteen and teenage girl's fantasy, right there.
What, and the boat, the M16?
I was going to say,
no,
you say it's a women's you say it's a girl's fantasy. Let me tell you something. I was 12 when Miami Vice first started coming out. I wanted to be Don Johnson so hard. And then I heard we were moving to Florida. I lived in New Jersey at the time. I'm like, I'm going to be living in the same state and I have his last name. I'm halfway there. I'm going to be Don Johnson. Of course, I was like 12. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The men were every girl's fantasy. The boat and the gun were every guy's fantasy.
It's the classic. Every woman wants them. Every guy wants to be them.
Be them.
Yep.
Okay, guys. So if there's nothing else, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming out. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Especially let us know if you like these more lighthearted episodes. It doesn't always have to be, World War II or Ukraine or Vietnam. We'll still do plenty of that, God knows. Every once in a while, we like to take a step back, especially with Sitrep Skirmish system, which, again, was written from the outset to be kind of a cinematic game. Or if there's another old 80s TV show, you might have an 18 episode sometime in the near future.
I was literally just thinking, how long would it take you to draw a black van with a red swoosh?
And a whole lot of gold.
I pity the fool.
A whole lot of gold. He gets a +1 to his defense dice just because of all that chain he's wearing. That stuff's bulletproof, man. All right, guys. Seriously, we're taking off. Thanks very much for coming out. Tango Mike for listening, and we'll be in touch very soon. Take care, everybody.